Welcome to our channel. Future real estate salespersons, do you want to crush the real estate exam on your first try? You have come to the right place. Our must-know national questions series, covering real scenarios, tricky choices, and quick tips to master the test. Let's dive right into part 1 with 20 must-know questions. Question number 1. What does time is of the essence mean in a real estate contract? A. Deadlines are flexible. B. Deadlines must be strictly followed. C. Time limits are negotiable. D. Time is secondary to other terms. The correct answer is B. This phrase means that all deadlines in the contract are legally binding. If one party fails to meet any of those deadlines, they could be in breach of contract. For example, if a buyer agrees to deliver earnest money within 3 days but submits it late, the seller may have the right to cancel the deal. There is no room for delays once this clause is included. Now let's look at the other options. A is incorrect because the whole point of this clause is to make deadlines strict. C is also wrong since the clause removes any chance to negotiate timeframes unless both parties amend the contract. And D is incorrect because time is a primary concern in contracts that include this clause, not something secondary. Question number 2. Which document transfers title to real property? A. Bill of sale. B. Deed. C. Lease. D. Promissory note? The correct answer is B. A deed is the legal document used to transfer ownership of real estate from one person to another. It must be signed by the seller, delivered to the buyer, and accepted to be valid. This is the document that changes who legally owns the property. Let's clear up the confusion with the other answers. A bill of sale is used for personal property like furniture or equipment, not real estate. A lease only gives someone the right to use a property, not to own it. And a promissory note is a loan agreement. It has nothing to do with title transfer. Question number 3. What is the primary purpose of RESPA? A. To set interest rates. B. To prevent lending discrimination. C. To regulate advertising. D. To provide disclosure and prevent kickbacks. The correct answer is D. RESPA stands for the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. Its main purpose is to protect consumers by requiring clear disclosures about closing costs. It also makes it illegal for service providers to give or receive referral fees without proper disclosure. For example, if a broker gets paid for sending clients to a title company and doesn't tell the client, that's a RESPA violation. Now, for the incorrect options, A is not correct because RESPA does not control interest rates. B is handled by other laws like the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. And C is also incorrect since RESPA does not deal with advertising rules. Question number 4. How does a mortgage differ from a deed of trust? A. Mortgage includes a trustee. B. Mortgage uses a promissory note. C. Mortgage involves only borrower and lender. D. Deed of trust has no legal standing. The correct answer is C. A mortgage is a two-party agreement involving only the borrower and the lender. In contrast, a deed of trust includes a third party called a trustee, who holds the title until the loan is paid off. Both documents are used to secure real estate loans, but they are structured differently depending on the state. Let's examine the other answers. A is incorrect because it is the deed of trust that involves a trustee, not the mortgage. B is wrong since both documents use a promissory note, so that's not a key difference. D is also incorrect because a deed of trust is a legal and valid instrument in many states. Dirtim TD. Question number 5. Which of the following is an example of functional obsolescence? A. Peeling paint. B. Cracked foundation. C. Home with no indoor plumbing. D. Nearby airport noise. The correct answer is C. Functional obsolescence happens when a feature inside the property is outdated or no longer useful. A home without indoor plumbing clearly fits this definition. Even if the structure is sound, the lack of a basic utility makes the home much less desirable. Let's review the incorrect options. A is just cosmetic damage, not a functional issue. Option B is structural damage, which is a separate problem entirely. D is an example of external obsolescence, because the airport noise comes from outside the property. Question number 6. What is the capitalization rate used for? A. To calculate taxes. B. To determine loan rates. C. To estimate property value from income. D. To assess insurance needs. The correct answer is C. The capitalization rate, or cap rate, is used to estimate the value of an income-producing property. It is calculated by dividing the net operating income by the property's price or value. For example, if a building generates $50,000 in net income per year and the market cap rate is 5%, the property's estimated value would be $1 million. Let's look at why the other choices are incorrect. A is wrong because cap rate has nothing to do with tax calculations. B is incorrect because loan rates are set by lenders and are not based on this formula. D is also wrong since insurance needs are determined by risk and replacement value, not income. Question number 7. What is the primary duty of a property manager? A. To sell the property. B. To appraise the property. C. To maintain value and income. D. To offer legal advice. The correct answer is C. A property manager's main responsibility is to preserve or increase the value of the property while generating income for the owner. This includes handling maintenance, rent collection, and tenant relations. Now let's talk about the incorrect answers. A is wrong because selling the property is a broker's job, not a manager's. B is incorrect since only licensed appraisers can appraise properties for lending purposes. D is also wrong because offering legal advice requires a law license, which a property manager typically does not have. Question number 8. What is steering in real estate? A. Recommending home inspectors. B. Directing buyers based on preferences. C. Guiding buyers based on protected class. D. Denying a loan to minorities. The correct answer is C. Steering is the illegal practice of directing buyers or renters to or away from certain areas based on race, religion, or other protected characteristics under fair housing laws. For example, if an agent assumes a family would feel more comfortable in a specific neighborhood because of their ethnicity and only shows homes there, that would be steering. A. Allows loan assumption. B. Ensures insurance coverage. C. Requires early payoff. D. Frees the property after loan repayment. The correct answer is D. A defeasance clause states that once the borrower repays the loan in full, the lender must release the lien on the property. This gives the borrower clear title and full ownership. Let's go through the other answers. A is incorrect because loan assumption refers to a different clause that allows a new borrower to take over an existing mortgage. B is wrong because insurance is handled through separate terms. C is incorrect since a defeasance clause does not require early payoff. It only activates when repayment is complete. Question number 10. What does the principle of substitution state? A. Price is always negotiable. B. Value is based on construction cost. C. Comparable properties affect value. D. Buyers choose the newest homes. The correct answer is C. The principle of substitution says a buyer will not pay more for a property than the cost of an equally desirable alternative. In other words, the value of a home is influenced by the price of similar homes in the area. Now let's eliminate the wrong choices. A is incorrect because negotiation is not the point of this principle. B is wrong because value is not always based on what it costs to build. D is incorrect. Sometimes buyers may prefer newer homes, but that is not what substitution is about. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 11. What is the proper action for a broker who receives an earnest money deposit with a signed contract? A. Distribute the money accordingly. B. Deposit the money in their own personal escrow account. C. Refuse the money since it's illegal to receive earnest deposits. D. Deposit the money in an existing special escrow account. The correct answer is D. A broker must place earnest money into a separate escrow or trust account. This account must be separate from their personal or business funds to prevent commingling. This action protects both the buyer and the seller, and it's a legal requirement in most states. Let's review the other options. A is incorrect because the funds must be securely held, not immediately distributed. B is wrong because using a personal account is a serious violation. C is incorrect since brokers are allowed to receive earnest money, but they must handle it properly. Question number 12. What should an unlicensed receptionist do when receiving a property inquiry from a caller? A. Tell the caller the price of the property and show the property. B. Refer the caller to MLS where all the information is listed. C. Refer the caller to the real estate agent handling the property. D. Tell the caller all about the property. The correct answer is C. Unlicensed individuals cannot discuss specific property details. The proper action is to refer the caller directly to the licensed agent. This keeps the brokerage in compliance and avoids unauthorized practice of real estate. Let's look at the other options. A is wrong because unlicensed assistants cannot quote prices or show property. B might sound safe, but it still bypasses the required referral to a licensee. D is clearly wrong because sharing full details without a license is a major violation. Question number 13. What is the term for placing client funds into a personal account in real estate? A. Conversion. B. Legal handling. C. Commingling. D. Trust compliance. The correct answer is C. Commingling is when a licensee places client money, like earnest deposits, into a personal or business account instead of a designated escrow or trust account. This is prohibited because it puts client funds at risk. Trust accounts are legally required to keep client money safe and separate, even if the broker has no bad intention. Mixing funds is still a violation of fiduciary duty and may result in disciplinary action. Let's eliminate the wrong choices. Conversion is actually worse. It means spending the client's money, not just mixing it. B and D are both misleading terms that do not refer to improper fund handling. Question number 14. What happens when a seller does not respond by the deadline stated in a buyer's offer? A. The offer expires. B. The offer is considered accepted. C. The offer becomes binding. D. The offer is automatically extended. The correct answer is A. If a seller does not respond by the stated deadline, the buyer's offer expires automatically. It no longer has legal effect, and the buyer would need to submit a new offer to reopen negotiations. Here's why the other answers are incorrect. B is wrong because silence is never considered acceptance. C is incorrect because an offer is not binding unless it's signed by both parties. And option D is also wrong. Deadlines in offers do not automatically extend unless agreed to in writing. Question number 15. Which action is considered a ministerial act under real estate law? A. Advising the seller on a pricing strategy. B. Offering advice to a buyer about financing. C. Setting up a showing appointment for a buyer. D. Negotiating a contract on behalf of a client. The correct answer is C. Ministerial acts are simple administrative tasks that do not require a license. Setting an appointment is one of them. These actions do not involve professional judgment or client advocacy. Now take a look at why the other choices are wrong. A and B both involve offering advice, which requires a license. D is incorrect because negotiating contracts is a key responsibility of a licensed agent acting on behalf of a client. If an unlicensed person performs those tasks, they may be committing unlicensed activity. Question number 16. Which type of listing agreement provides the most protection to the broker? A. Open listing. B. Exclusive agency. C. exclusive right to sell. D, net listing. The correct answer is C, an exclusive right to sell agreement gives the broker full protection. No matter who brings the buyer, even if it's the seller themselves, the broker is entitled to a commission. This motivates the agent to market the property with confidence, knowing their efforts will be rewarded. Let's take a look at the other options. A is incorrect because open listings allow multiple brokers and only compensate the one who closes the deal. B is wrong because in an exclusive agency, the seller can still find their own buyer and avoid paying commission. D is also risky, as net listings can create conflicts of interest and are not even legal in some states. Question number 17. What is the purpose of a CMA, or comparative market analysis? A, to appraise a property. B, to determine loan amounts. C, to estimate market value using comparable sales. D, to calculate taxes. The correct answer is C. A CMA is used by agents to estimate a property's market value based on recent sales of similar homes in the area. It helps sellers set a competitive listing price and helps buyers make reasonable offers. Now for the incorrect answers. A is wrong because appraisals must be performed by licensed appraisers, not agents. B is incorrect because lenders base loan amounts on appraisals, not CMAs. D is unrelated, since property taxes are assessed by local governments. Question number 18. When must an agency disclosure be provided? A, at closing. B, at first substantive contact. C, after contract signing. D, before property inspection. The correct answer is B. An agency disclosure must be given at the first substantive contact with a consumer. This ensures the client understands who the agent represents and what duties are owed. It builds transparency and helps avoid misunderstandings. Let's consider the other options. A is too late because by closing, the deal is already finalized. C is also too late since the relationship should be clear before any agreement is signed. D is incorrect because inspections happen after a contract is in motion, not at the start. Question number 19. What is the effect of recording a deed? A, transfers legal ownership. B, provides constructive notice. C, validates the contract. D, makes it legally binding. The correct answer is B. Recording a deed gives constructive notice to the public that the ownership of the property has changed. It helps protect the buyer's legal rights and prevents future claims from third parties. Now, let's eliminate the wrong choices. A is incorrect because ownership is transferred when the deed is delivered and accepted, not recorded. C is wrong because a deed is not a contract. D is also incorrect, since the deed is legally binding once properly executed. Question number 20. What is the main advantage of FHA loans? A, they have no closing costs. B, they require no credit checks. C, they offer lower down payments. D, they require no insurance. The correct answer is C. FHA loans are insured by the Federal Housing Administration and are known for offering lower down payments, sometimes as low as 3.5%. They are designed to make homeownership more accessible for first-time buyers and those with limited savings or lower credit scores. Let's go through the incorrect answers. A is wrong because FHA loans still include closing costs. B is incorrect since borrowers still undergo credit checks, although the criteria are more flexible. D is also the wrong answer because FHA loans require mortgage insurance to protect the lender. That wraps up all 20 national questions in this practice set. And to practice more exams, don't forget to visit our Realty License Prep website to take full-length practice tests for free. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next one.